understanding your purpose in business. And what I love about this topic is because, as many of you guys started sharing with yourselves, the point so many contractors face when they come in, they recognize right off the bat that the work that I do has a dollar amount value to it. I start doing some side jobs. I start getting my name around. People start looking for more work. I start growing and I recognize, hey, I could quit my job and make this a life thing. But we stick with that mindset of just producing, producing, producing. Not a lot of us understand what's going to take for us to actually grow it into a business. And that comes down into many different facets. Remember, we talked about previously the three pillars of a successful contractor. It's hard skills, soft skills, self-development. On the hard skills side of the side, if you guys want to jump into the field, that's fine. Soft skills, this is where a lot of us has the issues. Self-development is the understanding that for you to get better, you either need to recruit, duplicate, or start learning ways to improve yourself. That's why we're here. That's why I'm asking everybody on month one, what is your vision for business? We understand that the vision is where you see yourself at the end. What does a happy, successful look like for you? When you're on your deathbed and you say, and you look up to your family, I'm successful, what does that look like for you? And that doesn't have to be so deep and profound, but it's genuinely one of the most simplest questions you can ask yourself, but at the same time, it's going to be the hardest because people can't stop to say, where the heck do I want to go? Because guess what? They're so focused on, but I got to do that job. I'll think about that later. Everybody says, oh, that's easy. Oh, I didn't need to pay to learn that. Then tell me, what's your vision of success? What's your vision for yourself? A lot of individuals don't understand that. And why is that so important? Well, we're going to jump into it because right here, we have some statistics for you. 87% of business leaders who articulate a clear vision to their crew have a higher employee engagement and retention rate. There were some individuals, no names. We're already talking. We already had our one-on-one. And you said, I'm ready to grow my business. I have my guys. I have the budget down. We got our pricing. I can take care of my team. What happens a week later? My guy quit. Why? He went with somebody else. Why? He's not telling me. I don't know if it's for money. I don't know it's for this. I was like, interesting. Where were you on your vision? Did you let him know where you're going to do? Were you telling him how excited you were? Did you tell him what changes were going to come? A vision will actually help you grow your team better because they see themselves working long term. Just like how you're worried job to job, they may be worried. And I'm facing that myself. The team may be worried that, do I have a job tomorrow? Vision is what's going to secure your team and anchor them down, at least so they can now focus on other things other than the worry of what's coming tomorrow. Another statistic, 65% of businesses with a well-developed purpose, goal, vision plan for the year have faster growth than competitors without one. Do you understand that? 65% of you, if you guys put a plan down and you write it down of what the end of the year is going to look like, you're already 65% of the curve. You're 65% of all your competitors because your competitors, the 35%, are sitting down, worrying about job to job, worrying about check to check, worrying about where's the next influx of cash coming in. You have to strategically visualize what you want to do and attack it. How are we going to do that? Where do you get a plan? Well, that's why, once again, everything about our BULD Association has been planned for you. The hardest part about BULD is showing up every month and engaging. That's the hardest part because we did all the legwork for you. So once you start with BULD, not only are you going to get your business planning workshop, which we already have as recorded, our 50-page workbook. Where is it? Our 50-page workbook, where we go over in detail everything that you're going to need to develop your own business plan. We also have the 4-hour recording ready for you guys. So we have the 4-hour recording of the business planning workshop. This is what's going to help you understand what you need to do for your business in the year. And it breaks it down into quarterly, monthly, weekly, up to daily goals that you need. Secondly, now that you have the business plan, we have our leadership summit. Now you understand what a real leader is. Just because you understand leadership doesn't make you a real leader. we dived into the topic of understanding that leadership is not a position. Leadership is the actions you take in your business. Just because you're a CEO, have you been a successful CEO? Ask yourself that. Just because you're a business owner doesn't mean you've been successful as a business owner. So not only do we have our plan, we understand the type of leader you have to be. Now we're talking about the hard skills of this running the business. How do we develop a vision? Well, today we have our workbook on our masterclass of defining vision and purpose in business. And what's unique about our masterclasses? What's unique about everything that we're going to be doing here together is the fact that we are going to be able to dive into the topics. Hold up. There we go. So, what's so unique about here at Build? When we go over through the topics, once again, it's going to be interaction. But what's even more unique is we're going to break our 2-hour sessions into 4 parts. Not this week, because this is our first one. We want to do the introductions. But starting the next month, we're going to break this down into 4 parts. And we're going to express that for you guys. Because when you guys get to see what's involved and how you guys can engage with the class on a higher level, we're going to see how you guys are going to take most nuggets, the most highlights, the most gems from these topics. So we're going to break this down into 4 parts. We're going to start off every lesson, every masterclass with the first, which is going to be our book review. So over here, we're going to have a book review. If you guys see it over here. And in your workbooks, the first page, we're going to talk about the book that we're going to go over. We're going to talk about the author, and we're going to talk about giving 2-3 points on how it applies to you in business. Once again, the book reviews are strategically tailored to the topic of the month because you need to understand this topic in order to get to the next one. And you're going to see, trust me, at the end of it, everything's going to be in symphony. Everything's going to run smoothly. So for the ones who are coming in and just join Build, you need to understand what is a business plan. We have a 50-page workbook. You have to understand leadership. We have another workbook for leadership. Now, business plan, leadership, let's develop that vision. Everything that we did prior to today's class is led up to this. So we're going to jump into it, a title of the book. For the month of February, for all of us, each and every one of us, our book for the month is going to be your next 5 moves. And that's by Patrick Bet David. The reason why we decided to do your next 5 moves is because the book breaks down who you have to be, what your business needs to be, and identifying your team to understand your vision. This book, it breaks down step by step what you have to do for you to run an effective business. And guess what? Sometimes your employees, sometimes even yourself, if you don't understand yourself and your vision and why you have that vision, your business is never going to grow. So for the book of January going to February, I want you guys to listen to the Audible or get your own copy of your next 5 moves. Once you do that, you're going to understand exactly why. Move 1, master knowing yourself. That chapter alone is going to tell you everything you need to know about vision and where you're headed. So once again, guys, for your first book for the month, it's going to be your next 5 moves, Patrick Bet David. You're going to see and understand why knowing yourself is so valuable to your vision. Once you know yourself, once you know your vision, you can sell that to your team. You can grow your business effectively. But with all that in mind, we're going to jump into the topic today of vision. So we understand that let's see. Here we go. So today, if you have your workbooks open, we're going to head over to page 2. And we're going to go into our topics. So today, we're going to define what is a vision. We're going to define the differences between vision and goals. We are also going to understand why vision is needed as builders. So if you guys don't have your ebook open, we're going to now do share screen, and we're going to pull up the course remotely right here. We're going to share it. Boom, boom, boom. So if you guys are following along, you're going to see right here in our workbook what we're going to be defining. So we're going to define vision and the purpose in business. We're going to define that vision, understanding what a vision is, and look at some examples, how to articulate it clearly for business growth. Because you're going to need to understand that. Your team's going to need to understand that. Your customer's going to need to understand that by the services that you're going to be providing. The difference between vision and goals. This is going to be the meat and potatoes. We're going to understand that vision is overachieving purpose or in your direction. You're overachieving, basically your end goal, your end purpose. Goals are the actionable steps derived from that vision. So we're going to see how the two work together. Third, why vision is needed as builders and leaders. And this is going to be really the soft skill side of things. The clear roles, responsibilities, clarity, direction, setting goals, systems to achieve them, communicating that with your team, customers, and as well as your partners. So to start off with today's lesson, we're going to be jumping into defining the vision and the purpose. And for that, I want to hear from you guys. What are your goals? What are your visions? If you guys been with us with our Builders Business Blueprint, you already understood what it took to develop your own purpose. If you guys already defined your own business plan for the year, I want to hear it from you. So if you guys want to jump on, feel free. I can't see it now that we're sharing screen. So at any point, if you guys want to speak, we can hear from 2, 3 of you guys. What is your vision for your company by the end of 2025? Have you guys taken the time to consider that? Anybody? You guys who have been in your first year of business, what is your ultimate goal? Or would you like to define that for yourself right now?
Hey, well, so can you hear me?
Yep, clear.
Oh, sorry. I guess my goal for me for my business is just trying to learn the numbers. How
Yep.
that's one of the things that I didn't really know until I met you, but I really like to get really sharp on those numbers. And I guess one of the other goals that I want to do is, reach my first 500,000. That will be one milestone that I want to accomplish.
Perfect. Okay, perfect. What I appreciate about what you mentioned was exactly what we're going to talk about. So you said your goal, I want to understand my pricing. And then you said 500,000. What I appreciate is, so your vision for your company, when do you want to hit a 500,000?
I guess by the end of 2025.
Okay, so that's going to be your vision for the end of 2025.
Yes, sir.
Now, the next goal you need to do to reach that vision is going to be understanding your pricing, correct?
Yes, sir.
So the quicker you understand your pricing, the quicker you can now sell that price to your customer to reach your goal of 500,000.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Like right now, I think I have, 3 contracts. Well, not contracts, but jobs that are pretty much gonna be mine. They're all 3 are about they're about 50 grand a piece. Um, the thing is that I want to learn how can I make, because like I think Lalo said it, uh like you start making a lot of money, but you don't see in your bank. And
Yep.
the thing I want to learn is, trying to be very efficient on how to keep the most money on my company and not lose it throughout the process of the project. You know,
Yep.
like,
Yep.
okay.
All of that is going to lead to the end goal of your 500K. And
Yes.
today's lesson, we're going to jump into that because we're talking about vision. once you know the end goal for yourself. So if you have your business planning workshop book or you have your workbook right now, write down right now for the vision of Guillermo or Landeros Electrical is 500K at the end of the year by end of 2025. And now we're going to start breaking that down. Now we're going to set those goals. Right now, we just want to focus on vision. What does that end goal look like for everybody? So Landeros, 500K a year. Anybody else, quickly, what is your vision for your business for 2025? And remember, it doesn't have to be a number amount. It could be, I want to spend more time at home. I want to focus on a second business. I want to focus on this. What is your vision for 2025? Anybody can feel free to jump in.
I'd like to say my vision for 2025
Please.
is having to value myself and my company and have, especially with contractors, value my company, not
Mhm.
just as, oh, he's just an electrician. We are, I feel that sometimes generals don't see that we're not just any subcontracting company.
Yep.
So doesn't mean that we need to be, jerks about what we do and not clean up our mess, right?
Yep.
But it's more of having to I want to have that understanding of value for me
Hmm.
and respect for me,
Hmm.
and find the proper way to channel it towards whoever hires me without having to haggle about why I'm charging an X amount of number. Because I've said it
Yep.
in some of my videos, I'm not really trying to become rich out of one job or one project. That's not
Yep.
how it works. But the time it takes to create an estimate, you're thinking already like, well, this is what it's going to take, and this is what I also need as a profit, which doesn't mean I'm going to try and again become rich out of it. So I'm just trying to. That's my goal for this year to um, understand the value or value myself more, and respect my company and have the proper way to channel it towards who my clients may be.
You know what that's called, brother? No.
No, what is it?
What I appreciate about you the most is that what you just said. Why is my thing acting up? All right, I'll just stay in presentation mode. What that is called is what the conversation I last had with PBD. I have a business goal for Energize Us EDU, and we're going to go over that in a few. But at the same time, I have a personal vision for myself. To get to that next level, I need to understand myself more, character, speak with authority. So the message that I'm giving to you guys, the message that I give to the public is clear, concise. They know what I'm talking about. They know my standards. The same, that's what you're trying to basically do with yourself. So it's tied with reputation. You want to build up the reputation for your company. So when you say, when I show up, you're going to get XYZ. When you get me, you're going to get this taken care of. When you come with me, this is the quality of work you're going to get. With me, you're going to understand our principles. True or not, that's what you're looking for. And then when you can now apply that to every job that you go to.
Yeah, that is correct. That is correct.
That is
Actually,
called, you want to know what that's called?
what is it?
It's a very dangerous term. Moral authority. That's moral authority. Pat said that word will for you personal is a dangerous path that you go down because when you recognize you have moral authority, people value your opinion, people value your services. But that comes at a price of putting yourself through a lot of exposure. You have to understand everything ins and outs of your business, in your industry, everything about your market area. So when you come with a solution, you can say, I know there's other people out there. I know there's other companies, but this is why you're going to come with me. That's an assertiveness. It's not the cockiness like you were saying. It's not about the money, but it's understanding everything about your market. It's not just saying, I'm a business owner. This is my price. I don't lower it. That's not moral authority. You understand the difference, right? Moral authority is understanding everything about your industry, everything about your market, so that when you present something, you already got the hook. You already know you have the answer to the problem that they're solving, but so does everyone else. But they're not going to do it to this capacity. They're not going to do it to this capacity. Did they show you this? I didn't think so. That's what we're doing for you. This is what's typically going on in the industry. This is typically the price. This is why our pain point, our price is this. And guess what? If you do that, that's called moral authority, my friend. How about anybody else? So we have one, a financial vision goal for the end of the year. And we can break that down into milestones. The second is a more internal moral authority. That's on the self-development side of things. You know, the work itself doesn't show you that. The office doesn't show you that. But you have to understand these tools to develop yourself with moral authority. That's another point. So Guillermo is down here on hard skills because he's looking for a hard number, hard asset, he's looking for money. So he has to focus on this while understanding soft skills. To get to moral authority, it's self-development and understanding them too. How about we'll take one more before we jump into some examples of a vision. Once we see these examples, it's going to put into a picture, put into perspective of what a vision is for us. Anybody else? All righty. So we'll jump into the next 2 points. What I speak about, what I'm truly passionate about. I know we spoke a few times about this, but I truly enjoy history. I love the men who built America. I love the founding fathers. I love history because we get to learn from so many individuals who genuinely had nothing, who came into a new opportunity to fight for everything. Not only that, they went against behemoth, they went against countries to defend their vision. This always inspired me because if you can visually see what you want to do, you are on the right path. So that's what a vision is. It's understanding that there's a clarity, there's understanding the end result. We see from our vision the purpose of what we are doing. And it stirs up an emotion with each and every one of us. It stirs up of why are we doing this? Why did you quit your job? Why did you risk everything for your family? Why did you risk everything that could possibly go wrong? As we talked about the life expectancy, not understanding or having a vision or focusing on that vision that you have for yourself is already going to set you back. But understanding a vision, understanding what you want to do, the purpose behind it is going to set you apart from others. So what are some companies, what are some examples of companies from the past who had an amazing vision? Today, Walt Disney, one of my favorite case studies to study. There's also a book by the CEO, Bob Iger, The Ride of a Lifetime. It's the current CEO of Disney. What is he doing? What did he describe? He described that for him to continue the purpose of business, he has to constantly reflect on the vision plan that Walt Disney had. And that could be found over here. It's also in your workbooks. So we see how Walt Disney back in the day had a concept art of visually seeing what he wanted to do with Disneyland. This is before he did anything. We can see that he had different parts of everything that we today know as Disneyland. So we have Walt Disney Studios, motion pictures. He knew he wanted to start movies, but those movies were going to branch into sports centers. That's what we see how they bought part of the NBA. We see distributions by TV shows, music, publications, comics, Mickey Mouse Club, Disneyland, all these different aspects he had visualized and written down. And he also knew what was going to be the connecting point to each one of these other avenues. For example, Walt Disney Studios had a line to TV, had a line to music, and how each one in detail would affect the other. So what about you? Spellman Electrical. OVA, Landeros Electrical, Energize Us, DAS. What does your company visually look like on paper? Is it just one big circle, Stallman? You have Lutron, Ketra, Josh, regular electrical service calls. How do they connect? Are you guys looking into branching into other offices, other states? Visualize what your future looks like for you. If you were to see Walt Disney, let's imagine you go back into the past and you see an individual like this who said, this is exactly what I'm going to build. Would you believe him rather than, hey, bro, hear me out. Let me talk to you real quick. Let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. Cool. What did you do about it? Oh, no, it's an idea. Okay. So when are we going to apply? Well, we're waiting for this. We're waiting for the. What do we typically see right now in the trades? I want to hear from you guys. What do we typically see right now in the trades? Huh?
Just a little pointer right here. For all the other guys, I really don't know how many people are here, but remember, guys, like Will was asking from the beginning, let's try and be active here. Let's try and chat, have our minds, our points of view across. Because if we don't do that, I mean, it's going to be really hard for also to Will, and I believe also any of us that could probably help you out with any input on how we did certain things or doing certain things didn't work out for us, but might work for you. So let's try and get that there. You don't have to talk every single time, but the more we also get to learn from each other, I think it would help us grow. Because like Will said, we're gonna be here a year, so let's try and get that in. Now going back to
Yeah.
that question, what was the question again? Will, I know I was gonna say something.
The question was, what do we typically see? This is how business owners are actually developing their plans. This is an example of what they're doing in these meetings. This is what happens when you go to a board and you go pitch your idea to someone. They're generally seeing it. What are we typically seeing right now in the trades? What
Quite
do we see?
honestly, I think quite honestly, like I saw that picture, of some time that you posted it, and I didn't even know how to understand it. And I look at it right now, I'm like, okay, I just see a bunch of scribbly lines right there. But
Mhm.
I know that I've seen, office or meetings from higher reps, CFOs of companies that have those boards. So they have that is the point that I really want to understand, because all nowadays what we see is a bunch of electricians doing what we already know to do on some occasions. And most of the times that a question comes out is usually from an apprentice, somebody that doesn't understand how electrical works. So I think I personally, try and avoid posting stuff like that, because
Yeah,
that's not what I'm here for.
here for. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. And for everybody else who is just jumping on, I want to hear. Sure or not, the majority of us just going to write on a piece of cardboard. And what do you see these contractors nowadays saying? It's the same thing. They want to grow their business. They want to see themselves with a successful business. If you ask anybody in the trades right now, that's the most funniest part about this entire scenario. If you ask anybody in the trades as a contractor and they're a business owner, if they're a contractor, and you say, oh, are you trying to grow your business? Of course, man. I'm looking for this. I'm looking for that. Oh yeah, I want to hire some guy. Nobody's going into contracting to struggle. No one's publicly going to say that, but the work that they're doing doesn't reflect the work that they actually have. The work that they're doing behind the scenes is actually holding them from growing. And what do we see? No systems, no plan, no clear vision. They just write everything down on a piece of cardboard. That's what we see today in the trades. We see what individuals are saying is, oh, I want $1 million company. How you going to do it? I'm going to work harder. Okay, good luck. I want $1,000 a day. Awesome goal. How are we going to do about that? I got to work harder. I want to hire more people on my team. Cool. What do you need? How and what type of person are you going to look for? I want somebody with 3 to 5 years experience. I don't want to baby you. He has to know how to run a job himself. Okay, interesting. So you're looking for somebody without vetting them just based off of work experience because you want them to just start making money so you can sit back. Where's training involved? Where's character development? Where's trust? That's not interesting to you? Sounds good. Check. Oh, you're looking for $1,000 a day. How are you going to do it? Work harder. So you think everybody who has 24 hours in a day, you think from working 8 hours in the field to 12 hours in the field is going to get you that extra money? Will it? Maybe. Can you sustain that? No. Interesting. $1 million. How do you want to do that? I want to do it like this. Are you going to hire someone? No, because I don't trust people. You don't trust people, so now you think you can do all that on your own? That's very difficult. This is typically the business plan for electrical contractors. It's a piece of cardboard with written just little daily goals, what they have, and they throw it in their van, or they don't even have one at all, or they have it as a note on their phone. We see corporations out here who know exactly what they want to do. This is a clear visual representation of a vision. JJ, did I see you raise your hand? So sorry. If anybody else has a comment, question, concern, let me see, is everyone unmuted?
Well, I
Yep,
think
everyone's unmuted.
I think in a way, it's not about just the paper though. It's the fact that a lot of the times we don't even know where to go, how to move. I started my business last year.
Yep.
And it hasn't been easy. And it's been struggle after struggle, trying to get to the point of where to move, how to move. It's like moving from one hand to another. I wasn't in a position like Ova, where he has 11 years or whatever he's saying right now. I didn't even worry about doing side jobs and stuff like that. But a lot of times, like what you're saying right now, my plan, at least on my point, is to grow.
Correct.
But it's not based on not doing it. It's the fact that wherever you move, there is a lot of secrecy, I guess, like a lot of envy in a lot of companies where they don't want to share information, where you ask questions and nobody wants to answer because I guess nobody wants you to go all the way to the top, like where they are.
Yep, I agree.
And it is a little bit uncomfortable to know that you're trying to move and you're trying to grow, but there's not that much information. Like I mentioned in one of those lives that you did, is the fact that there's not such training on how to be an owner, how to run your business the best way. I understand there is a process and there is a way to run your business, but it is kind of hard to kind of know where to put each piece in order to make your business successful.
I respect you so much for bringing that up. And once again, a common phrase is going to keep popping up throughout these masterclasses, because just like in my ebook, what I wrote down, Jose, you don't know what you don't know. How can you take the next step if you don't even know what the next step is? It's all about putting yourself in uncomfortable situations. Many individuals don't know what the next step is. So when you try to give some suggestions, they go, oh, that's not what I want to do, or they don't take the step. That is very dangerous because, once again, we don't know what we don't know. So when it comes to a vision plan, what this piece of paper is doing is telling you the end result. I'm not talking about tomorrow. I'm talking about December 31st of 2025. December 31st of 2025. Now, when I know my end result, we can now break that down into quarterly, break it down to monthly, break it down to weekly, break it down to daily steps. Now you know what you have to do tomorrow, because if you do this step tomorrow, you're eventually going to reach there. What we say now is People want this. People want this, the $1 million company. People want to hire 3 to 5 guys. Everybody wants to hire and get $1,000 a day. And then it says, cool, what's the next step? That's it. We only go to the surface level. We don't go depth. That's what this entire process is about. That's why we built BULD. Because genuinely, Jose, I appreciate that you're here. This is why we tailored the whole year out already, from January to December. And we have the courses. It's all going to go in smooth. Today, we're talking about vision. What's a vision? What's the plan for your vision? Well, we already had our builder's business blueprint. It's a 50-page workbook. We should have had that written down already. Then you have to think about, like what you mentioned before, how am I going to do that? Well, we understood by our leadership summit now that we have to be this type of individual who's going to tackle, or take on the jobs that we're going to do in our vision plan. And now we're talking about vision. Everything we talked about is going to be in sequence of what we need to know, as well as what we need to do to be the business owners that we want at the end of the year. But it all starts with vision. You can't go in thinking tomorrow, I just got to worry about tomorrow. We can't go into business thinking like that. It's not scalable. It's too much unknown. What you have to do is look at the big picture and start working in that general direction. So I appreciate that. Ova, I see your hand is up. Would you like to jump on, Eduardo?
Yeah, touching back to what JJ was saying. I'm sorry, I know him as JJ. So Jose was saying, it's true. When I first started, you know, I even went, to my old boss, like, hey, how much do you charge for a can light? And his response was like, oh, well, you figure it out on your own. Probably my numbers, shouldn't be the same as yours, and that's it.
Yep.
I
Yep.
immediately understood
But
that
it makes sense.
he was either, yeah, it made sense, but to my knowledge, I mean, now it's because a lot of us contractors have always been throwing out numbers given to us by somebody else. Oh, you should charge this
Correct.
much. But why? Why should I charge this much?
Mhm.
Or if there's a bigger company, I've been able to kind of understand that sometimes bigger companies are able to charge a little less than smaller companies because they
Mhm.
have much more manpower and will get through the job quicker. So those are one of those things that kind of boggles with you, but it is the
Yep.
process of business. Just
Yep.
a quick example is I have ADP, right, for all my payroll and workers' comp and all that stuff. And if I were to hire a CPA or a bookkeeper, it'd be much more expensive than hiring ADP. ADP is like, really affordable for me. And that is because they're a huge company. So that is kind of the things on how I'm trying to understand business on that side. And going back to what JJ said, is that a lot of contractors don't even know their
Yep.
numbers, don't even know what
Correct.
to say. So the quick and easy response is not necessarily that they're envious or jealous, but they don't have the knowledge. They can't really give you an actual formula, and it
Correct.
sucks. And that's why we're here.
But
And
that's
that's
not what
exactly why I wanted the time. Yep.
but that's not what I'm
JJ.
saying though. In a
So what
way,
are you saying? Yeah.
like I understand everybody has different prices for everything. And I understand numbers don't work the same way with everybody.
Mhm.
I guess if there is a way to know the books, for instance, my point of view right now, prices can change better and it varies in companies. I understand that.
Correct.
But a lot of the times it makes sense what Ova said is numbers, is the office. One time I went to the business bureau, whatever, in Concord. And I told him about my situation, how I was trying to learn the office, to know exactly where my numbers were going, to create history, to do all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And the response was, why are you worrying about that? Worry about getting jobs. And I'm like, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Correct.
because if you don't know where your money is going, and
Correct.
I
You
mean,
can't reach it.
you can't reach it. And when you do the numbers, how much would I charge for putting a plug? Well, number one, I can easily say, you know what, I can charge $200. I can easily say $400. I can easily say
Yeah.
$1,000.
Correct.
But if my budget, if my work expenses, my overhead is
Yep.
$3,000 to continue work, then why is not important to know the office?
Yep. I'm with you 100%. And Jose, I just want to make sure we keep on topic, keep on the system, because today we're talking about vision. Is it safe to say that your vision for BULD, your vision for your company is understanding your numbers more? Is it safe to say that, or that you're just using this as an example?
It's a little bit of both. I mean, I want to know, like I used to work in retail, and I was an
Mhm.
assistant manager. And I know that most of the staff, when it comes down to the offices, it is important to know the numbers. And I guess I can help
Yep.
you determine how much would you be able to charge for jobs. But the one thing I don't know is how to set up everything in a way that it can actually benefit my company.
When you say everything, what does that mean?
Numbers.
Because there's numbers. So you're talking about, so
Overhead.
with I appreciate that. I love that. Guillermo, are you still on the line?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Guillermo, what did we do to understand your overhead? What did we physically do for that 1 hour?
We went. You sent me some pages, table of context to break down the daily rate for me, an office guy, or a office person, and an employee.
What else did we calculate? We calculate all your costs, right?
Yes, all the operating costs, the burden rate as well, and I was able to come up with my hourly rate.
Beautiful. Ova, Eduardo, what did we do when we spent that hour phone call with each other?
We went through the same thing. How much I was paying throughout the year and what my overhead was. How
And we
much
divided it by every month, right? How many jobs you have?
exactly, and that's how we came up to how much money I was missing a month. So,
So Jose,
uh,
I appreciate you. So Jose, we have all of those worksheets already. It's on the school app. Everybody already has their own template. Once again, we already have the resources you need to answer those questions that you may have. Now we can tailor it for you specifically. And that's the one-on-one I had with Guillermo. That's the one-on-one I had with Eduardo. So when we can understand those numbers, that you can say is your vision. I want to understand everything related to financing, books, money, so that I can have a nice, successful year. So afterwards, I would love for you to reach out to me so we can jump into that. I love that that's your vision, because that's also the vision Guillermo was asking about in the beginning. He said he wants to understand pricing so he can reach his goal of 500,000 by the end of the year. So I would love to have that one-on-one with you, Guillermo, so we can understand what that vision is, just so we can keep that flow going. Right now, we want to jump back into the topic of understanding why this is so important. So Jose, that was exactly the reason why we built BULD, and this is exactly the reason why we want to understand our vision. If you can now, while we do the presentation, think about the end result. At the end of 2025, what do you want? Because then we can see how much we have to tailor your numbers, your pricing, your costs to make sure you reach your goal. Thank you so much for that. And thank you for everyone else for participating. Once again, guys, this is what we typically see from executives, from big businesses. They have their vision, but us as contractors, we write everything down on a piece of cardboard and we just shoot from the hip. All we do is say, hey, I want someone 3 to 5 years experience. They don't talk about characteristics. They want to throw a guy on the field and they say, I don't want to have to baby you. Do you understand the type of person you're looking for? You're looking for an A player and hoping he has good character to trust him to be on a job site. And then what are we going to see? You're not attracting that type of person. So that can be your vision, hiring people. It can be your vision to have $1 million company. It can be a goal of yours at the end of the year to have a vision of $1,000 a day and make 350K a year. That can be your vision. What does your company look like at the end of 2025? When you have your vision, remember the definition of vision is what you see as your purpose or direction for your business. We're breaking that into business essence of 2025. Now that we understand our vision, what are steps that we can take to reach that vision? And now this ties to what Jose was talking about. This ties to Eduardo and as well as Guillermo. Because when we comes to taking actionable steps and to track those steps to make sure we reach our vision, we have to break that down quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily goals. And that's what we did with each one of us, our members. So if you're looking for the end result, now you have to know what you have to do to reach those steps. So understanding that you don't know what you don't know, you have to now, if you don't know what you want, you have to define what you want, which is your vision. Now that you know what you want, now we have to reverse engineer it to make sure we work towards that goal. That's why vision is so important. Once you have clarity, once you see what you want, now we're going to do everything you can. And we're going to give you all the tools you need, Jose, Guillermo, Eduardo, Stelman. We will give you all the resources you need to now reach it. And I promise you, you're going to see it at the end of the year. So goals, what are they? We understand that goals are the actionable steps driven or derived from the vision. If you're worrying about the next check, the next paycheck, the next job, the next inspection, you're only looking short-sighted and you can only grow as far as your next step. That's why we need to visualize what's going on in 2025 as a whole, because all the steps we're going to take, we're not going to get caught up in these little steps, these little advantages, these little losses. We have to visualize the top goal. So for our goals, our actionable steps derived from that vision. And why is that needed? Especially as contractors, especially, where's my pen? Especially as contractors, especially as individuals in the blue collar field. It's important because we understand that there's companies out there who are doing just that. They're doing this already and they're succeeding. For example, we got the Turner Construction Company. Real world examples here. Turner Construction Company grew into a leading construction company by prioritizing a long-term client relationship. That's almost like what you mentioned, right? You weren't looking for a dollar amount. You were looking for moral authority, focusing client and building specific teams. So when you have the best teams, when you have the best clients, the money comes as a side effect. True or not? What are some things that we can do? Focus on relationships and investing in teams to achieve your vision. That was their vision for business. And now if you look up them, 500 mil. The next, Dr. Horton, American Builders, expanded nationally by adapting to market needs and ensuring quality in operations. Key takeaways: vision enabled them a consistent quality adaptability for growth. They focused first, one of the first contractors in America that developed such a fine, detailed plan of systems. When they figured out they can be replicated, that they can be duplicated, they were able to now systemize and became a national brand. A lot of you individuals I speak with are saying the same thing. You have goals of becoming a household name. You want to franchise into other states. Guess what? That's a vision. But the steps you need to take to reach that vision is you have to know your numbers. You have to systemize your business where you're at now. Because if you have problems now and you jump to 2 companies, 2 states, you got double the problems. You understand? So you have to understand the value of systemizing. What are some other real world examples? We already talked about Disney. Operations lead to administration, leads to production, leads to customer relation, leads to marketing. When everybody's clear on the vision, everybody, even though they're going different directions, just like a gear and a motor, if everybody's clear on the vision, everybody can still continue to work together in harmony, just like the gears of a motor. But why is vision needed? It's needed because companies like Caterpillar, they work in excavation, they have the heavy machinery. They tied vision to solving customers' challenges and innovating in the construction and mining industry. Systems and innovation align with vision to adapt evolving markets. So we see there's individuals, there's companies out there that are truly growing, that you see them everywhere. And they all started with a vision. It may have started with a piece of cardboard and then transferred onto a vision wheel. And now they know how to take the steps. Professional development, you have to understand that you have to learn these stuff to continue to grow. You have to learn these qualities to do what you have to do to grow your business. And if that means understanding more office terms, structuring communications, systems, development, pricing, or does that mean you have to focus more on the hard skill, get these certifications, get more guys in the field, get more training for them? It all starts with you. And that's why you guys are here in the build, because you guys know that you guys and myself, our teams, you know, to get to that next level, we have to put ourselves in on an uncomfortable situation to grow. This isn't a type of course where it's going to be like, how do you wire up that light fixture? That's not what this is. This is understanding what you have to do, what you have right now. And now we're going to build that together. Because in contracting, we don't talk about this. Once again, it's just charge what the next guy's charging. Charge what the big companies are charging. You need more money. No, you don't. What you need to do is understand your numbers. And if you understand your numbers and you're still charging that, guess what? Now you're understanding that your profit margins make no sense. You may, and you can come down on that as long as you don't mess up your operating costs. I'm telling you, the fact that you understanding your numbers is going to let you compete with these bigger guys. These bigger guys have a vision. Trust me, that's why they're the big guys. You need a vision. You need to understand your competitive edge so you can develop your own numbers, your own tactics, so you can compete and reach your vision. If you're charging their prices, you're charging and you have the same vision as them. No, you're stealing, you're copywriting. That's like, give me the homework, the answers to your homework. You need to develop these skills yourself, especially here at Build, because we're working with builders and leaders. We want to work with individuals who are leaders who understand these characteristics to now implement this training in your own business. Because vision aligns your team. Vision aligns your priorities, just like a construction site. All of this is ensuring sustainability for you and your business. And this is going to allow you to grow. This is going to allow you to scale. So as a takeaway for us, small businesses, we can grow through exceptional customer service, referrals, streamline operations, exactly what Eduardo said, what he wanted to develop. He also wanted to have the respect for his company through moral authority. So when he shows up to a site, he's ready to tackle it. This shows you exactly what we need as contractors, what we need as visionaries. Systems align with the vision to adopt evolving markets. Just like what Jose said, we need the systems, we need our numbers, so it aligns with our vision. We will give you those tools at the Build Association, guys. So this is all that's going into vision. What does your flywheel look like? At the end of this, I want to see, what do you guys have a vision for? What does your vision look like? For ones who are part of Energize Us and you already went to the Builder's Business Blueprint, you guys seen our vision for 2025, right? You guys seen our vision for 2025. This is our flywheel concept. Let me see if I can pull it up for you guys. Boom, boom, boom. Right here. Zoom, share, boom. You guys may think we're crazy. You guys may think we're crazy, genuinely. because this is what we're going to do by the end of 2025. So if you guys are following us right here, let me show you the top, the bottom a little. Let me zoom out a little just so we can get it all in one page. Boom. This is our flywheel for 2025, guys. This is what we're going to build. So at Energize Us, we're going to jump into real estate. We're going to have HR services. We're going to help you guys hire the right individuals. You guys are looking for someone for 3 to 5 years. Is that it? Or are you guys looking for an individual who's actually has character, has trust, who's bought in on your company vision? But how can you test that? We have our own ways of testing that and figuring it out. We have partnership opportunities. We have our supply chain stores that we're going to start opening up. We're going to be partnering up with individuals to supply stores. So if you guys are part of BULD, guess what? You can buy electrical equipment, electrical products through us at a discounted rate because you're already part of the BULD Association. We're going to host events like you already know that we already had. Media, publishing, more articles, more news media, more ebooks, more workbooks. Disaster relief, what's going on in California right now? What happened 3 months ago in South Carolina, North Carolina? We are going to be the front face of all things related in the skill trades. We're going to have teams, we're going to have equipment, we're going to have donation generators needed to help with these places that have been affected with disaster relief. Our BULD Association, once again, is what you guys are a part of right now. Building you leaders, but we're united in leadership development. This is what you guys are a part of. You guys are part of one portion of everything that we're planning for this school year. Then we have the typical trade school. Right now, we're finalizing the documents with the Department of Labor and Department of Education to be approved in all 50 states in the next few weeks. When I tell you Energize Us is going to be a national brand, I'm telling you that. When I look at this flywheel, it fires me up. It fires me up and freaks me out at the same time because it recognizes what the potentials are, but at the same time, the freaking work that we have to do behind closed doors. When you guys see us on camera, we're over here. After the camera shuts off, my guys are calling. We're over here having fights with each other. We're trying to figure out what to do next. Dude, it's a bombshell. It's a war zone. But it's all because we're all bought in on the vision. We all understand what's needed for the end of 2025. Now we know the speed we need to operate at. This only develops when everyone's bought in. I sell this vision to the team. The operations team sells it to everybody else. We all know our clear roles and responsibilities, and we go start running. This is what we're going to do. What I appreciate about also at Energize Us, what's going to make us unique compared to everybody else, we're also going to opening up funding opportunities. We understand the struggles of those first few years of business. We're going to be here to help you guys. All of this is going to be done by 2025. And guess what? I'm not stopping. The team's not stopping because the vision is clear. The vision is clear, and we're going to do everything that we need to do to make this happen. This is who we are. I want to see this, guys, from you. I want to see what your vision's looking like. If you need help with that, go to part 3 of our workbook, our Builders Business Blueprint. It was the 4-hour recording. Fast forward to part 3, the structure. This is your homework, guys. Part 3, the structure. If you didn't follow the builder's business, if you don't go to the leadership, you're already missing out. You're already behind the ball. So once again, if you guys want to keep me accountable, I spoke with a lot of you guys of what your goal is at the end of the year. And guess what? It's right here written down. I know what you told me in our one-on-ones, what you want to do. We are giving you the tools and the resources to do it. Accountability works both ways here in Energize Us, here in BULD. We hold to our standards and we're not going to fold for anybody. We're looking for individuals, builders, leaders who have character, who have vision, and who have trust. If you're going to trust me, I'm going to trust you to do this assignment. I have to trust you, if you have to trust me, it's a mutual dance. It's not, you have to trust me or else. No, it's mutual. We give you the resources. We gave you all the tools, all the books, all the videos that you need only for you guys. None of this stuff is on social media. This is only available for school members. What we'll have on social media is the videos to tease and attract new individuals. But the full 4-hour course is only for you guys, only for BULD members. All these workbooks that cost $250 to develop and the time to go into it, all for you guys only. Take full advantage of the opportunities that we have for you guys. We want to see you succeed. We want to see you have the success that you need. Once again, this is not motivational. It may come off as motivational, but it's the simplest thing that you have to understand. Where are you going as a contractor? We don't want to be this guy. We don't want to be this guy showing up, writing on a napkin, being in your work van, hanging out at the supply store, at the coffee shop, at Dunkin'. You have things to do. You have a vision to reach. Work towards it. This is our vision. And trust me, I know at the speed I need to operate at. I understand our team, the speed we need to operate at. This is the opportunities for you guys out there. So please take full opportunities of the resources that we have for you. Today, we discussed vision and the purpose you are in business. We discussed and highlighted the clarity, the direction, your strategic goals, the steps you need to take are all based in line with who you are as a contractor, who you are as a leader, as a visionary. All these steps are within your reach. All these steps are within your power. But guess what? All these things vary from person to person. How so? We see for people who are aspiring to be contractors, vision is going to help define a clear starting point. That's if you're coming into business, like we talked about Guillermo, Eduardo, Jose, so many of you guys, even Stelman, we're doing the side jobs on the side, start to stir up that interest of, wow, I can make this a living. That's why it helps you get to the next step of being a contractor. Usually, once we become a contractor, that's where the vision stops. We just fall into the rat race after that. So for contractors, vision drives purpose and refines operation strategies. When people say, I don't care about my vision, you're not going to operate at a speed that you're going to need to grow. You're telling yourself, I am not going to grow. Because when you have a vision, you work towards it. You can tell who are the individuals who don't have a vision. They're the ones complaining about, oh, this contractor didn't pay me. Oh my God, I'm going to delete my Instagram. I can't deal with this stress no more. Character traits are speaking. You guys are leaders. You guys need to understand the value of this because you guys are going to grow. And this comes off as, oh, this is some kumbaya stuff. It ain't. This is genuinely the first step of understanding your growth is going to come here. For people who understand this, for people who see the value in this, this is hitting home to you right now. Who are you going to be in a year? What are you going to do? Once you understand your vision, we set the goals up with you. We tell you exactly what books to read. We give you the workbooks to fill out. We give you the homework. We put out the videos for you. We have templates to fill out. Whatever you need to reach your vision, we're here for you. For if you're in the group that want to scale your business, you've been in business, let's say a few years, you want to go to another state. You want to now grow another work crew. You want to grab another work van. Visions facilitate systemization, which is critical for growth. You need to know how many people you want to hire. You just want to hire one? Is it an apprentice? Is it a journeyman? Well, does he need a van? Does he need his own tools? Do you have the work for it? You see how just shooting from the hip, just writing, oh, I'm gonna hire a guy, leaves you with more questions. It leaves you with more doubt. But when you have a vision, now you know the type of person you need, the type of help you need, the material, the cost is going to go associated with that one individual. Now you can act on it. How many people say, I need a hire, I need help, I need help, I need help, I don't hire. And then it's like, do you have the work for him? Yes. Why don't you hire? Well, I don't know if I need an apprentice or a journeyman. I can't find no one with 3 to 5 years. I can't. You end up with more questions and you run yourself into a hole and then you end up dropping your goals. Just like the New Year's resolution. So many individuals start off with saying, hey, I want to do X, Y, Z. They don't develop it and now they're stuck. So we need to share real world applications. We need to review these things because as contractors, especially, we don't do research in the sense of we don't understand our business. We don't understand what customers need. We don't understand our market, our industry. So we need to study these things, encourage everybody on your team. That is what vision is all about. That is why defining a clear vision is going to help with that transparency. You're going to ensure that your teams are aligned. You're going to ensure that it establishes your priorities, and you're going to ensure sustainability. And now you can grow and keep everyone accountable. And then the other aspects of soft skills and hard skills will complement this. Thank you, everybody, for today's lesson. I truly appreciate each and every one of you guys. Now we have 15 minutes, 20 minutes to talk about this topic, how it aligns with your goals. But we want to make sure we highlight, once again, if you guys have your book, page 1, where we talk about the title of our book review that's going to be due in February. What is the book title? Your Next 5 Moves. Author, Patrick Bet-David. Why is this going to be so important? It's understanding oneself. It's understanding, why are you in business? What's your vision going to be? Remember, Your Next 5 Moves. Listen to it on Audible. Listen to it at work, while you're driving to work, on your own time, free time. This is what's going to help you out. Remember, accountability goes both ways. You guys want product. You guys want the courses. You guys want the templates. I want to see you also work for it too, guys. Okay? All of this is available for you guys. It's there for you for the taking. Keep growing, keep thriving. What's next? If you guys have not yet jumped on to the Builder's Business Blueprint, if you guys have not jumped on to understanding what you are going to do in 2025, please feel free to get your workbook or go to the video for a Builder's Business Blueprint. Fast forward to part 3, where we talk about the structure of your business. Visualize success, define it in writing. Make your own step-by-step plan to reaching your goal for success. And then when you have that idea, I want to see your flywheel. I want to see what you're going to develop for the end of the year. Write it on a piece of paper, write it on a piece of cardboard. At least that's step 1. I want you to visualize it. You can visualize it wherever you want. Okay, guys? Visualize your goal. Once you visualize it, give it to us. We're going to get our teams to develop that for you, and we'll send it back to you guys. I want you guys to have a graphic so you can hang it up, so you can see every day what you're working towards. And I'm telling you, now that you understand this, this is going to help us jump into our next part. Just like what we mentioned, once you understand your goals, what can you do? Create systems. Guess what we're talking about in February? 4 systems. Now we're talking about how to develop systems. How do systems look like? What are some examples of systems? I'm going to show you my own playbook at Energize Us, the systems that I have for my entire company. I'm going to share it with you guys. So I appreciate you guys. We have the open floor now. This is the last portion where you guys can open, comment, questions, concerns. Also, if nobody has questions about vision, this is now where we can talk about any process you have. If nobody has anything to ask about vision, Jose, I would like to schedule with you the one-on-one so we can now go over all your receipts, all your data, so we can come up with the best price for yourself and vision plan. But let's open it up to the floor for you guys. I appreciate you once again. I want to hear your comments, questions, concerns. Fill out the surveys, fill out the questions on what we can do to get better. Did you understand what is a vision? Did you understand the difference between vision and your goals? Did you understand why vision is important? Feel free to jump in, guys. This is class participation. There's still 15 of you guys in the chat, so feel free to jump in, okay? And if you want to turn your camera on, feel free. Remember, we said that from the beginning. This is where I want to hear everything from you guys. Keep it up.
Hey, Will,
Feel free to unmute, jump in.
I guess one thing that I want to add to my vision, now that, we had these 2 hours, it's also the vision of knowing how to hire the right people. I think I mentioned this to you.
Yep.
I'm gonna share this just in case somebody went through it too. But the one guy that I hired a month ago, work skills great. He had a lot of ideas. He always think outside the box. So it was the perfect work guy.
Yep.
But when I started sharing my vision, or started sharing, what I was wanting to do and stuff like that. I don't know if it was something that he was just kind of envy, or if he probably said, "Oh, if he does it, I can do it too." So until
Okay.
what point we can share our vision with our employees? Like, is there a limit that we just have to share with them, or what do
Nope.
you recommend?
Nope. I appreciate you bringing that point up. That's a question that I had, somebody had with PVD. Why would you hold back sharing your vision? There's no reason for you to hold back on sharing your vision. The reason why is going to be broken down, remember, into this chart. Do you remember?
Yes.
What did I tell you is the number one characteristic? What should we be looking for when it comes to a hire? Do you
Trust.
remember that? There we go. Remember, as contractors, when we're looking for hiring, so Guillermo, I love this question that you mentioned. How do I hire the right person? How much should I sell my vision to my employees? What I love about this chart, it puts it into perspective of what we need to do as leaders. When it comes to, and just like I mentioned, how we're going to have our HR services, this is the same roadblock so many contractors are facing. Many contractors want somebody with great work ethic and skill set, and they neglect on character, trust, and vision. If you can't trust somebody, why are you going to give them your vision? If you can't, if they have no character, if they show that by the way they speak that they don't care about you, why are you going to waste energy on these individuals? I'm okay with losing these people, I'm okay with losing this and maintain these type of people in my life. True or not?
True.
You had a guy, you said he was awesome at work, right?
Yes, sir.
So he had a work ethic. He was all the way up here, right?
Yep.
And skill set all the way up there.
Yes, sir.
But he had low trust in you. He had low trust in the vision. He wasn't bought in on you. And that ultimately, if you have these two that are low, I guarantee you he has low character. And just like the conversation we had, he just left without speaking to you, right?
Yes. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Bang. I don't need to know the individual. Just by the way he's acting, I already know he's low here. And if he doesn't have, if he's not bought in on the vision, if you can't trust him with the information you're giving him, I already know by default he has low character. That's why these things are in order. Just like what I mentioned before, we developed this entire course. We developed this entire roadmap of everything that we're doing in Build to feed the next thing. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So when you go to hire a guy, you hired somebody here, right?
Yep.
Right? High here, low here. And you have a problem with selling your vision to somebody who has low character. I'm not dealing with people like that. When it comes to business, when it comes to my partnerships, when it comes to my clients, when it comes to even members of Build, I want to grade everybody on character first. I want to grade everybody if I can trust you. I want to grade everybody by your vision. Why do you think I'm asking you guys to fill out your vision charts? I want to see where you're at. Because if you have high vision, you're going to work your ass off to reach that. If you have a high vision, your skill set's going to match it. And guess what? If you have vision, that means if you're going to trust yourself to reach that goal, character is going to follow. If I get to talk to you and after a few conversations, I'm like, this guy has great character. I say, show up, he shows up. I say, do this, he does that. We read this book, boom. Do you understand everything on today's part where we have a book review, follow the assignment, please comment, participate? Do you understand? I now can grade us, the entire class, on this.
Yeah, for sure.
You see where I'm going at right now, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yes.
And guess what? Do you think I'm scared now? Do you think I'm scared to share you my vision for Energize Us EDU?
Nope.
No, because I know what the type of people I'm looking for. Right?
Yes, sir.
if I sell my vision and you don't care for it and you don't see value in any of this, I already know these are guys going to be like, well, I need to work harder. I need to do this and do this. I don't care. We're working with builders and we're working with leaders, and I'm going to be saying my standards for the rest of the year. So that thing's just going to be on repeat, guys. We're looking for builders. We're looking for leaders. If you guys want to grow, we're going to give you everything you freaking need. All I ask is character, trust, and show me your vision. The same it goes to hiring. Character, trust, vision. What do we see? I want somebody with 3 to 5 years experience so they can go on a job site by themselves. Where's the character? What if I have a guy who has 10 years experience, but he's a drunk? What if you have a guy with 7 years experience? Spellman, if you're still on, the guy that you did with the peeping Tom or the pedo, right? He might have the years of experience, but what happens to his character? All of these things nobody accounts for, to the point where individuals, business owners, have to pay agencies to do background checks, agencies to do this stuff, agencies to test the character, test trust, test vision, so you can make the right hire. This is why you should never be embarrassed on selling your vision. When someone comes to apply for you, you're telling them, yo, we're going to the freaking moon. We're going to do it by XYZ. Selling a vision is one step. You have to now show it to them. Your actions have to match your vision. That's why you need goals. So when you start reaching your goals, when you start hitting your vision goals and your success, they're going to be like, dang, this dude's doing what? I can trust him even more. I'm going to work harder for him even more. When you complement each other and you follow this area versus the other, you have nothing to be afraid about. You have nothing to be afraid about. You're going to lose the people you don't want. You're going to attract the people you don't want. I appreciate that question.
Yes, sir.
How about anybody else? Anybody else have a question regarding to vision, goals, setting the standard, character? What do you guys think? And also, if you guys at any point see value in this chart, once again, it's on the school worksheet under